There was a time in my life where I pretty much almost lost everything. Not only my mind and myself, but my family, my relationship with my wife, my 3 young boys at the time. And not having control of who I was and the person that I was towards them, that was a very, very hard situation to be in all the time. But there came a time where one moment or one particular day hit me really, really hard where, I went through so much rage where I grabbed my boys' PlayStation and I threw it outside in the backyard and I just smacked it on the ground as hard as I possibly could because I took my frustrations out on that. And it had nothing to do with my boys. They were so young at the time. And I'll never forget, looking at my son and he's looking at me and just terrified. And I was just full of rage, like my eyeballs were going to just explode. My head was going to explode. And then I looked over to my wife and the panic in her face because she thought I was just going to rip my son to shreds. I never forget, I went to my room and I just sat in my room and I was just breathing out of control. I was just breathing out of control and anger, and I wanted, where my anger needed to go, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, this is fucked. I just can't live this is fucking bullshit now. I need to fucking wake the fuck up and become stronger. Not only for me, but for my fucking wife and children. And we had no relationship, and here I am being the fucking animal that I was towards my family because I was allowing life to take control of me and I wasn't talking up for myself. So when I speak about self-talk, this is how I used it to get my family back. And I use it in other areas of my life that I will talk about in other videos, but this was the most important thing. Not only in my own life, for me, myself, but for my wife and children as well. And then when we moved all in together and we tried to get this family back and I started to work on myself, I had this habit where I used to come home and my boys would know that Dad, whenever he comes home, if they got to see me, I would go to my room. And I would only come out when I needed to eat, but I would make sure they were in their beds asleep and they knew that if I was walking around the house, not to come out of their bedrooms because all hell will break loose. Because I didn't want to see them. I didn't want to I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't be who I wanted to be to them. They were terrified and petrified from their own father. And my wife, the fear that was in my wife. And I look back and I think, what the fuck kept them there? Why did they take me back in? But when I started to work on myself, the self-talk, I would come home and I said, okay, I'm going to be calm. This has nothing to do with my boys or my wife. I'm going to make myself present for them. I'd come home from work and I would wait for them to come home from school. And I would be fully dressed, in my active wear because I started going to the gym. And when they would come home, the first couple of times they would come in all quiet and I would call them by their names. Hey Josh, hey James, hey Jono. My son Jean-Claude was so young. And, they'd come in and, hey, how was school today? And this was something that I would do every single day. And then I would make coffee and my wife and I would sit down and we'd start talking about things. And I would talk about, the full-time job that I had and what we're going to start doing, how we're going to start saving money, how I'm going to pay off all my debts, and what we're going to do this weekend as a family. And it was harder to start because they wouldn't trust me because they'll be like, oh, Dad's going to get upset now. We're stuck in traffic, he's going to rage. Or we're at a park, there's people there, he's not going to come out of the car, or he's going to take us there for fucking 5 minutes and we're going to come home. Our first summer holiday after I become better, I looked after myself, we would book for 8-9 days. I'd come back after the second day and just tell the boys, oh, we've got to go back home because of whatever bullshit reason. I was just lying my way through fucking life. But I would tell myself, no more. It's got nothing to do with them. But because I was working on myself and I was living with purpose and I had this vision, it made this easier. The calmness that I brought on myself. And that would freak out. I remember there was a day I wanted to have a nap. I never forget this. As I walked towards my room, one of my boys said to their brothers, "Hey, be quiet, Dad's going to go to sleep." And I looked back, I said, "No, son, don't be quiet." I said, "I'm only going to have a bit of a rest before I go to the gym." "Oh, okay, Dad." I said, "Put the TV on. Put the TV on, son. Put it loud." And they were arguing over the PlayStation and this and that, and I'm in my room. And we just kept going. You know, now it's non-existent because this is just our normal life. We're a fucking unit now. But I had to work on that. I had to build that. I had to shut my own fucking mouth up and stand up to myself and the bullshit that are allowed to plague me. The people that are allowed to penetrate me and influence me and impact me in a negative way. But guess what? Once I started working on myself and built that inner strength and self-belief through working on myself, all that other shit just vanished on its own. You know, getting my wife's love and respect back and trust. The first time I told her, let's go to the shops. And she's like, "Oh no, don't worry about it." I said, no, let's go to the shops, do a bit of shopping, have a coffee, this and that. And she's like, she was very hesitant. And in my head, I'm like, shut up, because you're going to go to the shopping center. It's going to be packed with people. You're like everybody else. And I went there, traffic, whatever, waiting for parking, all nice and cool and calm. And again, and again, and again, until it became normal. Was it hard? A little bit at the start. But then it's like, you know, like when you start to discover yourself and live with purpose, and you're actually truly living a life that's fucking worth living, and for something, it becomes normal, and you just repeat and repeat. Issues happen, we have arguments, we tell each other where to go, this and that. But guess what? Because we've built this trust and this network of strength for each other, our lives are around this household. Every day we talk about things, our lives, our work. My boys are grown up now. 2 of them are working, one of them about to finish school. And everyone has a role and has a part and knows that they're all allowed to say what they want. We have that respect for each other. No one is superior in this home. We are all the same. We live this household with respect, with strength and unity. So, you know, people out there, like, trust me, I've left my family in the car many, many times and just walked off on them because of my rage, because of my overthinking, because of the shit that used to go on in my head. It's all controlled. It's all self-talk. I still get, you know, overwhelmed with thoughts and this and that. That's life. I'm no longer the old person anymore. I deal with shit and I keep going. I never show my boys. If I'm going through tough times, I'll tell my boys, you know what, this is what I'm going through at the moment. But I got to get through it. This is life. I teach them as I go now, and they can see what their father goes through and what he does and what they do for me. Again, we're a team, we're a family. So people out there that go through tough situations, couples, families, trust me, if you just apply these things, and I use this with quite a few men that I've worked with, you know, anger issues, rage issues, whatever. I saw this from my father, and this is how I was brought up. We all got the similar stories, but guess what? Let's just talk to ourselves before we go home and bring all our bullshit with us to our children that are just waiting for dad to rock up home and give me a hug instead of telling me to go and get fucked. And a wife that's just waiting for me to do something with me or tell me about her day and tell her, I can't hear it now, I'm fucking, you know, I'm raging, or I've got no time for you. And it's been working 100% with everyone that I've been working with, because I know it for a fact. I know it's 100%, but you got to do it yourself. You got to put it on yourself, and it's not easy. But you can do it, and I will not give this life and this person that I have become to fucking anyone, because what I have is what a lot of people need. Okay, what I have is what a lot of people need, especially men. It's not about money, it's not about cars, not about fucking houses. It's about strength and stability in my home. My boys go out and people know who they are and who their father and mother are, because they know they come from strong homes. No one looks at what I've got or where I live. People just know what I give and provide to my family and those around me. And those that know me know this for fact. And I don't say this with arrogance. I say this with fucking confidence and self-belief. Again, what I have is what a lot of people need, and that is calmness in your mind. I've taken my life from a complete fucking psycho to the calmest, strongest person you will ever fucking meet. Trust me. And this stuff is what motivates me and inspires me to keep going. So if you're someone out there that going through tough times and just finds it hard to keep it together, trust me, there is help. You can change. And if you wish to contact me through my Instagram, Coach Joe Charbel, please do. I'll be more than happy to chat with you for free. I don't want to sell anything to anyone. For free. You know someone, a partner, a friend, a sibling, please share this with them. And if you find anything valuable or beneficial in this, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, your experiences. This is what I'm all about. So to finish off, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel recently. I had a big jump last week, 8 people in 1 week. It's awesome to me. It means the world. My YouTube Shorts is getting massive interaction. Thank you to everyone. And I'm going to keep going. I'm not stopping. I'm going to share my entire life on this platform and how I did it and how you can do it. And this is both for men and women. We want strong men and women to build fucking great families and great lives for everyone. Let's become leaders for each other and for everyone around us. So thank you again for watching this video. If you stayed this long, love you, respect you, and God bless.